Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I'm still catching up on 2016 films that I wanted to see. I was curious about seeing, but I didn't get a chance to see them until right now. Jack Reacher, Never Go Back is obviously a 2016 film, and it's obviously the sequel to the first Jack Reacher movie that came out a couple of years ago. This one is directed by Edward Zwick. I think that's how you pronounce that. Now, Jack Reacher was a character that's based off of a series of novels that I've never read. But when I saw the first movie, I really enjoyed the character. I really enjoyed that first movie. I just thought that atmosphere, the way how that story was told, how dark it was, how edgy it was, how surprising it was. I just thought everything about that first movie worked. It was a surprise hit for me. So when the sequel was announced, I was a little surprised because I kind of felt like, oh, as much as I enjoyed the first movie, I wasn't really looking for a sequel. I wasn't really looking for another story with the character. But if it's anywhere near as good as that first movie is, then I'm on board. Why not? So the plot is we meet Jack Reacher, once again played by Tom Cruise, and he comes into contact with Major Susan Turner, who it seems like he's romantically interested in her, I guess, until before he gets to meet her, she gets arrested for supposedly selling insider secrets from the military, yada yada. He doesn't believe that though. He thinks there's no way she could be doing something like that, so he goes under to try to save her. But not just that, the military finds out that he possibly could have a daughter out there, a long lost daughter that he didn't know about. And so they target her as well. So he has to not only clear and free the major woman, he also has to protect his maybe daughter. Now, what I thought of Jack Reacher, Never Go Back was, I didn't love this movie. I didn't love it or enjoy it as much as that first movie for sure. But it wasn't terrible. It was what it was. It's not good to start a review like that, but I will say, let's talk about some positive things. Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher, I think, is good as the character. I do think he has some cool moments, some fun moments. A lot of one-liners of him, like when people are following him and he catches it, notices it. Like one scene where he comes out of a restaurant and two guys are talking to each other in the car, and he just comes up, punches the guy through the windshield and just easily takes them out. So he has his badass moments, and he's buyable, he's believable. It's Tom Cruise. You buy him as being a guy who can take out a bunch of people. I like how they set that up. I like how they set this character up as a guy who really doesn't give a shit. So the things about the character that I like, but this whole plot I thought was forced. I really did. At the beginning of the movie, he's talking on the phone with Major Susan Turner, like I said, who's played by Colby Smulders, or Maria Hill, as we all know from the Marvel movies, or How I Met Your Mother, Robin. But it's like they instantly have this romantic connection, just like over the phone, and he wants to have dinner with her. So he drives across the country to meet her. And like I said, before he gets to meet her, she gets arrested. And somehow, some way, he knows already that there's no way she's a criminal, that there's no way that she could have done this. And it's like, okay, ultimately he's right, but I don't buy them having this type of a connection. I don't buy them being romantically involved. I don't think these two have chemistry. Every time they're in scenes together, I'm not seeing any connection. I'm not seeing the love. I'm not seeing why he's willing to risk his reputation and do. I mean, I know he's done it before, but it seems silly. It seems like I'm really going to go along with this. Even she didn't want him to do this because she supposedly knew that he was going to do all of this for her. It's a little wacky. It's a little goofy. It's a little over the top. It really is. But then when they throw in this possible daughter, Samantha is the character's name. She's played by this actress, Danica Yarosh. I've never seen her before, but I will say I like the actress. At the beginning, when you meet her, she's kind of a bitch. to Tom Cruise, she is. But when you get some layers of her backstory, how she's been raised, and her mother was a slut, and all of this stuff, she didn't have her father, so she has that wall. You get it. You've seen it before. And slowly she becomes more likable, and I think she pulled it off well. The main villain, I guess, he's the assassin, the hired assassin, this actor, Patrick Husinger. Again, he looked familiar, but I didn't really truly get a sense of if I remember him from anything. He was okay. He was fine. He's just a guy for hire. He's just a guy going around killing people and tracking them. There's not a whole lot for him to do acting-wise or anything like that. He's not really overly charismatic. There's not a whole lot to him. So I don't really have a whole lot to say about him. The main villain, the head top guy, is this actor, Robert Knepper, who I'm sure a lot of you have seen in a lot of movies, because every time you see him in anything, he's the villain. He's always the villain. He just has that villain face. And so when I saw him in this movie, it's supposed to be maybe a mystery or surprise. No, it was clear as day that he was the villain behind all of this. But even with all of that, he has like maybe 3 scenes in the movie. They don't do a whole lot with him. He's just kind of here. The action is alright. You get some scenes of Tom Cruise fighting guys off, and it is what it is. It's just none of this was really all that memorable. None of this was really as good or on the level of writing-wise or action-wise or suspense-wise or just how edgy that first movie was. It's not on the level of that first movie. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because the first movie was so good that now the expectations are higher, or maybe it's just the fact that, let's be honest, there's not a whole lot more for this character to do. There's not a whole lot more for this character to go. I know it's a bunch of books, so you can do those stories, but for me, like, it's not terrible. It's not. I'm going to give it a rental. A rental at best. Because it's really like, if you can sit at home and watch it, it's a time waster. It's a decent time waster. Especially if you love the first movie, you might be curious about what happens next. But other than that, you could probably skip it. In fact, most people did skip it because it didn't do all that well in the box office. Clearly, even I didn't see it in the theater. And I try to see almost everything in the theater. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you somehow were one of the few people who saw Jack Reacher Never Go Back. What did you think of it? Did you like it more than I did? Or did you hate it even less than I did? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!